probably as excited as a teenage boy who thinks he's going to get laid for the first time. I have the date of dates planned. I have spared no expense. Now I just hope it impresses her. I look myself over in the mirror. I kept my beard because she said she liked it, but I trimmed it and got it under control. Wiping my hands on my pants, I inhale deeply and walk next door to Delia's. Knocking on the door, I wait for her to answer. "It's open, Logan." Her voice calls through the door. I don't see her when I step in, so I walk through the living room and kitchen in search of her. When I get to her open bedroom door, I pause. She's standing in her bra, pulling her jean capris up. Her eyes catch mine in her mirror as I lean against her door frame. Not breaking eye contact, she zips and buttons her bottoms and grabs her shirt from in front of her, turning to me as she pulls it over her head. "Hey, sorry, I woke up late." I just look at her as she grabs items off her bed and walks to me. She leans up to kiss me before pulling back and searching my face. "Are you okay?" she asks. With a hand around her waist and one behind her neck, I pull her back and kiss her hard. "Yes, I'm fine. I'm excited for today with you." I tell her honestly. Her smile beams. "Let's go then, shall we?" Excitement sparkles in her eyes. "So what is the plan for the day?" she asks as I take the small overnight bag from her and place it in the back of the waiting car, before opening the door for her and sliding in after. I look over at her with a smile. "Once we're settled, you'll see." She drops her head back on the seat. "Any hints?" she begs. "Well, I feel you already got a hint when I told you to pack for the night just in case," I offer. "No, that's not a hint, because that's just in case you said, so that tells me nothing." Her sigh is dramatic, causing me to laugh, her eyes laughing with me. I grab her hand and rub my thumb along. "How was your evening?" "It was good. The resort was smooth going unless you count Cece drama." She laughs. "Uh-oh, do I dare ask?" Just Cece being herself, which always makes for an interesting time. I got home later than intended since Cheryl had to leave early, so I took over at the front desk for a bit. She says, "It was nice to be back in that role. I think I'm going to make myself Cece and maybe Julian rotate jobs. Once a month we will help in a department, just to remember our roots and to see how things are going." She tells me of her plan, and I see the passion for her job written on her face. How anyone could accuse her of not earning her position is ridiculous. That sounds like a great idea, one I've actually thought of doing as well. It crossed my mind to show up unexpectedly and spend a weekend at one of my hotels and just help where needed. It would give me an insight on how they are running and let me interact with all the staff, not just the managers or assistant managers. I tell her, "That's a great idea, especially if it's unexpected. Then the managers won't have a chance to get things in order or make sure the right people are staffed," she says. We talk a little more about it before I pull into a parking lot and stop the car. "Auraria, I take it?" she asks, looking towards the ferries as I pull our bags from the trunk. With her hand in mine, I pull her towards the boats. As we wait in line, I wrap my free arm around her waist and pull her close, placing a kiss on her temple. "Thank you for coming with me today," I say in her ear. "Thank you for inviting me, even if I still have no idea what we're doing." The sass is strong. She squeals when I pinch her side. "You'll see soon enough," I say as she leans up to kiss me. I love how she hasn't been holding back with her kisses or touches. This past week, when she passed me, a hand would linger on my arm or my waist. Sitting next to me, she would lean into me or place a hand on my thigh, run her hands through the back of my hair, and I found myself doing all the same things to her. If we are within reach of one another, we're touching in some way. After we get off the ferry, I lead her over to rent a Jeep for our own self-guided tour this time. We make one more stop before heading out. I had called a local restaurant and had them put a picnic basket together for us. I have her wait in the Jeep as I run in to grab it, and as I place it in the back seat, she smiles. "Are we having a picnic?" she asks. "We will be, yes. Now hold on," I tell her as we take off. We pass several sites we had seen when we were here last with Lindy. An hour later, I stop us by a waterfall and help her out before grabbing the picnic basket. "This is beautiful. Did we see this last time?" Cordelia asks, turning to me. She's breathtaking with the midday sun shining behind her. I believe we drove past this one but didn't stop. I walk over to a clearing and lay down the blanket before removing the food and laying it out. Delia stands overlooking the waterfall while I set up. "Come sit," I call to her, handing her a bottle of water as she does. "Wow, this looks delicious." Her eyes light up with hunger. I pass her a small plate and we fill them with the assortment laid in front of us. When we're done eating, "Do you want to jump in the water?" she asks with a sly smile. "Sure. Do you have a suit underneath your clothes?" I ask her. She raises her eyebrows as she stands up and starts pulling off her shirt. I stare transfixed on actions. And I see she does indeed have a swimsuit on. We follow a path down the hill to the water and wade in. She walks in, stopping once it's up to her waist. "Come on," she says over her shoulder to me. Coming up behind her, I dip my hands in the water, then dump it over her shoulders. The surprise of it makes her jump and squeal. With a glint in her eye, she leans down and splashes me with water. Wiping it from my eyes, I retaliate and splash her back. We play around for a few before I grab hold of her waist and take us both under. She's clutching to me as we break the surface and sputter out water. With her hands wrapped around my neck and her legs around my waist, "Ugh, you jerk," she mutters. She wipes a hand down her face as I push her hair behind her ear. I smile when she makes eye contact and kiss her softly. We stay like that for a few, floating in the water, clinging to each other. I see desire darkening her eyes and I know I have to shut this down now because I have more planned for us today. I let her kiss me and deepen it but pull back before we get too caught up. We should get going. I have more for us to do. I tell her as disappointment flashes across her face and she pouts, nipping her bottom lip. "Don't look at me like that. I promise you'll love what's coming," I tell her and slap her ass before I drop her into the water and run for land. I hear her behind me as I get to the shore. "You ass," she yells. Our laughter echoes off the surrounding trees.
My body heats, and not from the sun drying me off, but from his eyes roaming my exposed body. We're letting the sun dry us off from our swim as we clean up our lunch. I stop and turn to him, hands on hips, and raise an eyebrow. When his eyes meet mine, he raises his eyebrows and gives me an impish grin. No shame. With a shake of my head and my lips threatening a smile, I turn away to grab my clothes as he picks up the basket and heads to the Jeep. I pull on my capris and shirt and head to where he is holding my door open for me. With a peck on his cheek, I climb in. We finish our self-guided tour, and even though we've seen some of these sights, they are still gorgeous. With our entwined hands resting on my thigh, we drive along the shore. It's early evening, and the sun is setting, turning the sky pink and orange. What is next on the agenda? I ask, turning in my seat to face him, keeping our hands on my lap. Have I answered that question any of the 20 times you asked before this? He says with a smile. A girl can wish, I say. He looks slyly over at me before looking back at the road. And that is something that you wish for? Knowing what we're doing next? Nothing else? I flush under his implications. I have many wishes, but at this exact moment, yes, that's a wish of mine, I say. I see his smile, knowing he heard the husky tone of my voice. His hand leaves mine to lie flat on my thigh. He rubs small circles with his thumb. I chuckle when I see his thumb on the steering wheel doing the same motion. I shake my head at his questioning glance. We pull up to a marina, where there are a few boats anchored at the docks. He puts the Jeep in park, then comes around to open my door. I curse myself as my body flushes when I see him grab our overnight bags from the back. He's had this effect on me all day. A look, a graze of his hand, a flirty comment, and he heats me right up. I haven't failed to see my effect on him. He's tried to discreetly adjust himself, but it's hard to miss when I'm so attuned to his every movement around me. Closing the back door, his dark eyes meet mine and I see the desire that we've been fighting all day. Grabbing my hand, he pulls me along a dock toward an enormous yacht. A man stands on the yacht at the top of the ramp. Good evening, Mr. De Vries, ma'am. Welcome aboard, he says as we walk up the ramp. Good evening, Nate, Logan says with a nod as he hands over our bags to the man. Thank you. I offer him a smile. I gawk as Logan shows me around, "Logan, this yacht is beautiful." "Thank you. She's newly finished. Her maiden voyage was to meet us here," he says. My jaw drops as I turn to him. "This is yours?" He nods as his eyes alight with pride at my obvious approval and amazement. He leads me upstairs to where there are 2 guest bedrooms and what would be the master suite. I see our bags sitting next to the door in the master suite. Cheeky bastard. He grins when he sees my attention on the bags. He grins when he sees my attention on the bags. He leads me up to the top level because there are 3 levels to this beast. Once we walk out, my steps falter as I see candles lit all over, and in the middle sits a quaint table set for 2, adorned with more candles and roses. Once we walk out, my steps falter as I see candles lit all over, and in the middle sits a quaint table set for 2, adorned with more candles and roses. My heart kicks into overdrive and can't catch my breath. My vision blurs as I turn to find Logan looking down at me adoringly. "Did you do this for me?" My voice was but a whisper. His hands cup my face as he leans down. His kiss is but a tickle and leaves me yearning for more. "All for you." His voice is rough. With a nod toward the table, he walks over and pulls out a chair for me. I sit down in awe as I look around again. It's magical. The candles flicker around us, reflecting in his eyes as he sits across from me. Before either of us can say anything, a guy comes out with a bottle of wine. "Mr. DeVries, good evening. Would you like me to pour your wine for you?" he asks as he approached our table. "Yes, thank you," Logan says, not taking his eyes from me. "I will be back with your first course in a few moments," he says and walks away. Logan lifts his glass up, a toast. I hold mine up. He pauses, trying to find the right words. "To us and new beginnings." I smirk and clink my glass to his. "To us," I murmur. Throughout the night, they brought 4 courses out, with the main course of lobster and steak with fresh vegetables. We enjoy a lull in conversation as I savor the tiramisu that was brought out for dessert. Having talked about everything we could, we are eating dessert in comfortable silence, watching each other. The sun has completely set, and only the candles and a string of lights above our heads offer light. I don't need to see him to know his eyes haven't left me all night. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there is a hot tub on the level below us if you are interested," he says, drinking his wine. I set mine down, nodding my head enthusiastically. Next thing I know, my hand was in his, and we're racing down the stairs, laughing. He pulls me into the master suite, closing the door behind us. "Uh-huh," I say, looking at him pointedly. His deep laugh sends the butterflies a-fluttering. "It's right out here." Still holding my hand, he pushes through the double doors to the deck, and sure enough, there sits the hot tub. The jets are already on, and bubbles cover the surface. A pretty jasmine scent wafts from the steam. He lets my hand go and starts unbuttoning his shirt as I stand watching unabashedly. His chest looks like an Adonis statue. One you can tell has a 6-pack, but it's not chiseled, just toned enough to tell it's there and smooth to the touch as I reach out and slide my hand up. He pauses with his hand on his shorts button as my hand caresses him. "Undress." His voice is deep and rough, yet demanding. It sends heat straight down to my core. I don't waste a second. I undress as he now stands watching me. Once I'm down to my suit, I look at his shorts, which are still on, with his hand hovering over the zipper. Then I walk past him and slide into the hot tub, moaning at how amazing it feels. A moment later, he's sliding in next to me and pulling me to straddle him. His kiss is punishing and bruising, and I love it. Hands slick across my back and land on my hips, his fingers holding me tight enough to leave 10 minor bruises. With a push down on my hips, I feel the firm, insistent rise of him pressing through his swim shorts, an urgent weight that matches the thrum in my own bones. I take control and grind down as my hands hold onto his shoulders and our lips keep up their assault. I'm unashamed of the moan that comes out when he bucks his hips up to meet me. Breaking our kiss, I gasp for air. Lips find my neck and kiss down my collarbone. My head drops back, and I can see the stars twinkling in the sky above us. I inhale sharply as his tongue brushes the tender peak of my breast through the suit, a teasing flick that makes my skin prickle with heat. He groans and pushes my top aside, his lips closing over the sensitive flesh. Logan. My hands run through his damp hair, holding him to my breast, as our hips grind, with one of his hands palming my ass. And you miss something you only had one night with? Because I missed these, he says as he pulls my other breast free, his lips and tongue laving over the soft skin. Ah, I exclaim from the sting of his bite. Logan, yeah, baby? God, he's got me so worked up I'm panting and can't think straight. Logan, I say again, and his husky laugh vibrates through me, lifting me off his lap. He sets me on the edge of the hot tub. A little bewildered at the move, he then claims my mouth and pushes his body between my open legs. I need more, I moan as he massages my thighs, his fingers creeping higher toward the warm, throbbing core of me. I know, baby. Cocky asshole. I'm sorry. Did you say you want the part of me that's been burning for you all day? His eyes shine with amusement. I trail my hand down his stomach to the firm, heated shape beneath and grab hold of it. This thing? I ask, while he moans and presses it further into my hand. I lean forward and suck on my bottom lip. Yes, I want that. Fuck, he groans out as I slide my hand inside his shorts. That too, I laugh. I slowly stroke his warm, unyielding pillar. My thumb brushes the sensitive crown where a dewdrop glistens. My core tightens with anticipation, knowing what is to come. This feels new, yet we've been here before and already know what the other likes. His groan sounds in my ear as he buries his head in my neck. Hands that were frozen are now moving back up my thighs as I continue my gentle caress. Encouraging him further, I push my hips up. When his hands move back down towards my knees, I humph in annoyance. His laughter vibrates through me and straight to my core. Logan, I groan. He laughs again. I love how you moan my name, and I haven't even touched your most intimate core yet. Are you going to moan my name real good when my mouth meets your tenderest spot? Or my fingers dance over your soft curves? How about when I'm fully sheathed, pressing deep into your warmth? Will you be moaning or screaming then, baby? I whimper at the promise of his words. I'll do whichever you want, as long as one of those things happens soon. Very soon. I buck my hips again as I slide my hand away from his warmth and out of his shorts. I grab the ties on my top and undo them, letting it fall into the hot tub, and then undo the sides on my bottoms. Leaning back on my elbows, I throw him a wink as I say as seductively as I can, "Why don't we start with that mouth? Your wish is my command, love." He peels my bottoms away and pushes my legs further apart. The cool breath from his lips sends a shiver through me as he blows over my damp, tender petals. The cool air from his mouth contrasts with the steam curling between us from the hot tub. Grabbing a fistful of his hair, I make him look up at me. Don't tease, Logan. This whole day has already been a tease. More of that can come later. He rumbles with approval as his eyes darken even more. Oh, I don't know about that. You've been teasing me since you left my hotel room that morning after. He blows a cool breath over me again. Will a quick dart of his tongue over my most sensitive bud go back to blowing on me? A swipe of his tongue, right where I crave him most, pace. He pulls back to smirk at me while whimpers leave my mouth. His finger glides over my damp petals to my sensitive bud and starts circling gently. Ho! He watches me melt under his touch as his chest heaves. Fuck, you undo me. With no time to think, he presses his mouth to my tender petals. No more teasing. He draws me hard and fast to the edge, and I tumble over with a scream. I crash back on my elbows, my legs shaking where they rest on his shoulders. Gently lifting them, he places my legs back in the water, his muscles flexing as he pulls himself up above me. We're taking this to the bed. Now get up, he orders. I don't know if my legs will carry me after that. I force out between pants for air. If you don't get up now and walk or crawl to that bed, I won't let you feel my warmth deep inside you tonight. I will tease you with my mouth and fingers to the edge, making you beg, but you will not find release. Do you understand? You will not fall apart again unless it's wrapped in my warmth. So get up, he says as he bites my earlobe and pulls himself out of the tub and into the room. Fuck Logan. I groan as I try to make my muscles move. My legs shake as I make my way inside. I glance around for him when I see he's not on or by the bed. He must be in the bathroom. Whatever. I collapse face down on the bed. What a view. I jerk at the unexpected feel of his hand rubbing my soft curves. Pop up on your knees. Get that sweet curve up for me, babe. I do as he says. No need to be told twice. The memory of him holding me close from behind has lingered in my thoughts for so long. One of his hands dips forward, sliding 2 fingers into my warm core. Still so fucking damp and tight. You're lucky you don't want to be teased because I don't think I'll be able to last very long either. I gasp as his tongue laps at me after he removes his fingers, gliding from my sensitive bud to the small of my back. The feel of his beard brushing against my skin between my legs sends a tingle through me. His tongue darts over my sensitive bud, drawing a long, deep moan from me. No more. I pant as I pull away from him and roll to my back. An appreciative sigh escapes me when I find him standing naked on the side of the bed. I hop back up on my knees and crawl to the edge, wrapping my hand around his warm pillar and guiding it to my lips. With a lick, I taste the faint, briny dewdrop on my tongue. Giving him no warning, I take him deep until he hits the back of my throat, instantly drawing a deep moan from him as his hands fist my hair. Oh, shit! He thrusts gently into my mouth, taking control. Fuck, baby. I thought we weren't teasing. He doesn't stop or slow down though as he moves in and out of my mouth. I suck again, swirling my tongue around him, and he pulls out and pushes me on my back, hiking my legs up on his arms. His warm pillar presses against my core and slides deep inside. O-O-O-H-M-M-M-M. I moan as he tilts my hips to hit the perfect spot, and he picks up his pace. Our moans mix as the intensity builds. He drives deep into me and pulls back, repeating the motion over and over. Fuck, too soon, he groans. My hands clutch the blanket beneath me. Rub your sensitive bud, baby, get there, he says, and my hand finds it in an instant. That's it. Is that getting you there? He asks. Not able to think or form words, I answer with a moan and a buck of my hips, craving more. Harder, faster, I cry out, trying to match his rhythm, but it's hard with him holding up my legs. Our moans and the soft slapping of skin fill the room. I'm gasping for breath as I feel the familiar buildup of release. So close, don't stop. Never, he grunts out. Come for me now, Cordelia. And I do. I break apart at the sound of his command, the way he says my name, sending me over the edge. His thrusts grow jerky, and his body tightens as I feel his warmth throbbing and pulsing deep inside me. I know he's fallen over the edge with me. He drops beside me, and we lay there panting. Not long after, he gets up and walks to the bathroom, and I can hear the water run before he returns with a wet washcloth and cleans me gently. I haven't moved a muscle yet until he scoots us up on the bed and pulls me against his chest. With my arm across his stomach, I snuggle in and quickly fall asleep.
Here, it's in a to-go cup for you to take with you. I offer the coffee to Delia as she finishes getting ready for work. I prop my arm against her bedroom door, watching her zip her skirt. Thank you, she says, strolling to me and giving me a kiss. After she takes the cup, I let my hands drift to her ass and my lips to her neck. I should make you change. Your ass looks amazing in this. No other guy should see it. Possessive much? Her voice is breathy as she tilts her head, offering me more of her neck. Very much so, I confirm with a nip to her neck. I swat her ass as I step back. You should get to work because I have work to do and you distract me. I'm going, she murmurs as she walks to the door. I follow and give her one last kiss as we part ways for the day. It's been a week since our date in Moorea on the yacht, and we have spent almost every night together since, mainly at her place, but a few nights at mine. Walking into my place, I head to my laptop and wait for it to boot up. I see an email from Eva about vacation time and a few from Brent. I ask Eva when she's thinking about vacation, then tackle Brent's. What are these meetings in New York? Picking up the phone, I call Brent rather than email back and forth. Hello? Brent's sleep-filled voice filters through the line. Why are you still sleeping? I question. Lindsay's fault, he says, and I hear female laughter on the other end. Get up and call me back. We have things to discuss. I hang up without giving him a chance to reply. Over an hour later, after replying to more emails, talking with Eva, and getting ready for my afternoon meeting, Brent finally calls me back. Hey man, sorry about that, he says when I answer. It's fine. What's not fine though is why do I have 3 unexplained in-person meetings scheduled in New York? Even Eva was unsure of what they were for. Do you remember meeting Henry Garmel? It was about a year ago, I believe, at one of our parties, he asks. Yes, I do. Why? Well, he's looking to sell. He has the 2 hotel chains, and it's the hometown hotels that he wants to let go of. His voice is giddy. No shit. These meetings are with him then, I ask. This would be a great deal to get in on. Yes. He reached out to me last week, letting me know his plans, and that we are the first to know. So I set up a meeting right away because I knew you would be interested, he said. Hell yeah, I am. This would be great. It would establish us more on the East Coast. If I'm correct, that one has a few international hotels too. Yes, it does. I won't be able to be there since we already have meetings scheduled here, but that's fine. You go wine and dine his ass and don't let him think about selling to anyone else. Now enough of that. I heard through the grapevine that Fortuity took her maiden voyage. Is that true? You took her out without me? I thought I was your best friend, and I was a big part of her creation, and you just leave me behind. Well, I wasn't on her first voyage either, so I guess we both lucked out, I tell him. What does that even mean? Why would you have not been on that trip? Where to anyway? Damn, so many questions, I mutter. I had her brought down here, where I had a date with Delia aboard, and the next morning we took her out for a quick day cruise. She's still boarded down here right now, but let me tell you, she turned out perfect. Whoa, wait a minute. I no longer care about the boat, but you took the girl on a date aboard it? So you stayed the night on it? Does that mean what I think it means, huh? I can all but hear his eyebrows wiggling. Yes, we stayed the night on it, that's all I say. Sniffles come through from him, I am. More fake crying, so proud of you. More sniffles. Shut up, asshole, I grumble. It has been what, 3 months now that you have been going after this girl? About time you got some again. Was it as amazing as you remember the first time? Was it worth upending my life to stalk her? Tell me, he exclaims. Yeah, poor you, I completely uprooted your life, I say, and debate for a moment if I want to tell him anything more. Yeah, I've told him everything since the beginning. And no, it wasn't as good. I pause there. Oh no, did you drink more than you thought that first night then? You'll be coming home soon, I take it, he asks. No, I was not drunk that first night, or the night on the boat, or any night since. And no, I won't be home soon, Dick, so it was better then. He sounds affronted. Yeah, my memories of that night did her no justice. And I think having this time to get to know her only added to her appeal, I say. That's great, man, but I hear it in your voice. There's something you're not saying. What is it? Just like with all things in my life, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Especially after the week we've shared. It feels so surreal. There's not always another shoe? Was there with me? No, it was only ever me and my Conversos until I had to wear dress shoes. But you made that change with me, and the guys too. Yes, the few women that there have been were shit, and they had a fresh pair of shoes for each man they were seeing. But you've been getting to know this woman for 3 months, trust your gut. Yeah, you're right, don't say a damn thing about that, I tell him. Lips are sealed shut. Well, I have to get to work or my boss will ream my ass, so let me know when I can finally meet her, he says. Never, bye. Can be such an ass, but he's my right-hand man for a reason, in both business and my personal life.
I groan while sitting at my office desk. Jeremy will not stop texting me. I hoped after my first reply telling him to leave me alone and then not responding to any further messages from him, he would get it, but no, at least 1 text a day, and if I'm really unlucky, 2 or 3. Knock knock. Glancing up, I see both Cece and Julian at my door. Uh-oh, what is wrong, I ask. With our work schedules evening out since opening, it has become rare all three of us are here at the same time. I see one or the other since I'm here throughout the week unless I'm covering a weekend. Nothing is wrong. It's slow out there and we wanted to catch up with you, Cece says as she drops into a chair, looking back at Julian still by the door. Well, come on man, get in here and sit down, she tells him. I don't know what it is, but for the past few weeks, Julian has been quiet and distant from me. He doesn't seek me out to joke around as he had. What's going on, Julian? I ask as he closes the door and finally makes his way to a chair. With a shake of his head, he drops eye contact. Julian, something is bothering you enough that you have been acting strange around me. What is it? I can't help you if you don't talk to me. I'm having some conflicting thoughts and feelings right now, he says as he looks me dead in the eye. I can tell it is definitely about me. I hold his gaze, waiting for him to continue. I know you have heard the rumors going around about how you received this position, and that you slept your way to the top and so forth. He pauses, and I nod, letting him know I've heard. I don't believe them. But, there it is. I'm conflicted because you are dating Mr. DeVries, are you not? He asks. We are dating now, yes. I know you don't have to justify it to anyone, but can you explain it to me? When did you meet and start dating? Because I also heard a snippet of a conversation you had with his brother when he was here. He says, no longer meeting my eyes. Well, I can tell you I had never met Logan before I came to Tahiti. My old boss Roger, an older gentleman by the way, put me up for this position without my knowledge. I've done everything by the handbook to earn this. As I said, I am now in a relationship with Logan, which does not interfere or affect my ability to do my job. I sigh, trying to figure out the best way to explain the Jeremy situation. Jeremy and Logan are stepbrothers, and not close at that. I was with Jeremy for 3 years. We were engaged until he cheated, and I came here 4 months later. As surprising as it is, since we were in New York and his family in California, I only met Jeremy's parents when they took their trips to New York. Jeremy didn't talk about his stepbrother since they weren't close, so I never met him. So it was a complete shock for me to find out the relationship between the two once Jeremy was here. Have you told him yet? Cece chimes in. I look at her, then glance at Julian and back. No, I whisper. Grrr, I hear from Growl. We'll talk about that more than once he leaves. She gives Julian a pointed look. Do you feel better now that you know more than the masses? She scoffs and calls him an idiot under her breath, but we both hear. What? I'm sorry, Delia. Not that I believed it or thought you didn't earn your job. I guess I thought we were friends, and you had said at one point you had never met him, so I was confused. Then to hear that conversation, it just didn't sit well with me, that there could have been a chance I pegged you wrong. He says sincerely, It's okay, Julian, I understand, I tell him. I don't, Cece mutters, obviously upset with him. Cece, I say. Ugh, everything is going well. Everyone is good, she says in a sickly sweet voice. Liar. Liar, she's still annoyed. I glance at the clock and it's time for me to go. I know I can be late since we've seen each other every night, so I shouldn't want to kick my friends out. But I do. I want them to leave so I can leave. We'll talk later, Delia. I'm sorry I brought it up, but the situation bothered me. I thought the best way to clear the air was to bring it up. Julian says, looking a little sad. I believe I pulled it out of you. I laugh to lighten the mood. Julian. I stand and walk over to him and place a hand on his arm. I consider you a friend and want you to always talk to me, especially if it's about me. Yes, we can talk more once Miss Judgmental over here is not around. Have a good evening. He tosses a playful glare at Cece and says goodbye. Finally, first off, no, if he didn't believe any of it, then it would not have bothered him. Second, I don't have a second, but what a jerk, Cece says. I bark a laugh at her ridiculousness. You are something else. I get it, even more so since he heard me talking with Jeremy. It would make even me question someone, I tell her. Let's talk about the actual issue here. Why have you not told him who Jeremy is? I finally told him I was engaged and didn't want to spring all of it on him at once. Then we had our date on his yacht, and this past week has been amazing. When I think about telling him, I get scared and clam up. Then I think, do I need to? He has to go back to LA and I'm staying here. So this is all just fun and games for now. Not everlasting, I say. Her look tells me how stupid I am, as if I didn't know this already. I know, I need to tell him. I was just giving you insight into my inner thoughts. It scares me. I let him in and am entertaining a relationship. It would suck if this drove him away. That decision is his to make, though. Go home and talk with him, Delia, she says as she walks out of my office. Finally, I can get out of here and go do just that.